Baltimore City officials approving a $6.4 million settlement with the family of Freddie Gray. The 25-year-old African-American man died after suffering a spinal cord injury while in police custody. But the 6 officers indicted in his death are still awaiting trial. Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake insists the settlement will not affect their cases.
Let me begin by emphasizing that the decision to settle the civil claims is completely unrelated to the criminal case the 6 officers currently face. The city's decision to settle the civil case should not be interpreted as passing any judgment on guilt or innocence of the officers. This settlement is about making the right fiscal decision for the city of Baltimore. I acknowledge that it is relatively unusual for the city to choose to settle a civil claim involving alleged police misconduct prior to the resolution of a criminal case. But in the limited number of cases involving unique or extraordinary circumstances, the city has made the decision to settle civil liability prior to the final adjudication of criminal charges.
And the on-the-record legal panel is here, former prosecutor Katie Fang and former homicide detective and criminal defense attorney Ted Williams. Ted, the amount settled was within range, but I don't believe for one second that was a smart fiscal decision because of the timing. A smart fiscal decision would have put it off till after the criminal trial because you'd rather pay later than now. So I don't buy that for a second.
Well, you're absolutely right about what you're saying. I don't buy it either. I have said that I thought there should be a settlement, but the problem you have in this case is that the criminal case is still out there. The jury pool, looking at this settlement, could draw an inference that these officers are guilty.
Which is why the timing, I don't know if it's deliberate or stupid or whatever, but it's a terrible decision. Katie.
It comes on the eve of a huge hearing tomorrow. Greta and Ted, the motion to change venue will be heard by Judge Williams tomorrow, and we know that it's going to have an impact on the judge's decision. Why? Well, now your potential jury pool has heard that the city of Baltimore is paying $6.4 million to the family of Freddie Gray. But one thing that I want the viewers to understand is the following. 3.5 months of negotiations allegedly went into the $6.4 million payout. As a trial lawyer, that's a pretty fast payout for Billy Murphy, the family attorney for Freddie Gray.
All right, I will tell you that Dandy Johnson was a case in 2010 that went to trial that was somewhat like that, although he didn't linger for a long time like Freddie Gray did, and a jury returned $7.4 million. So this is a lower amount of settlement. But the city, the mayor, is dead wrong that she couldn't have held that one off until 2 years down the road because the officers wouldn't have had to testify in any of the civil case. So what in the world? Why are they paying this thing off now? The timing to me is
horrible.
I think it's dirty.
Well, it is, and I got to tell you, I'm sort of like Katie there. Tomorrow, there's going to be a change of venue here concerning these officers. The question is, will there be a change of venue? I've said that they probably would not, but it wouldn't surprise me if the judge put this off for some time so that there can be a calming down before the jury hear this case, Greta.
Katie, do you have any problem with the fact that it was done so soon? And why, remember in the O.J. Simpson case, you had the criminal case first, and then you had the civil case. And that's why O.J. could be compelled to testify at the depositions after the civil case because I've gone through the jeopardy of the criminal trial. I mean, is there any reason that mayor, that city, had to settle this now before the criminal trial is resolved?
Absolutely not. It doesn't speak to the disposition to either one of those cases. And here's the other thing for you guys to think about. Maybe, just maybe, I know this sounds crazy, this inures to the benefit of the cops. Maybe the jury, hearing that the family got $6.4 million, says to themselves, the family was made whole as much as they could financially. So at this point, we're going to exonerate the cops. I'm just putting that out there. I know this sounds crazy.
You know what, Katie? The mayor's telling the jury they're guilty. They're so guilty, we're paying them off. I mean, that's like the worst thing that could happen.
Matter of fact, that was the first thing she said in a defensive manner about this jury. Hey, the criminal trial is separate from this. Oh, no, it is not.
And to say this quote was a fiscal decision when they could have paid this money, a couple years down the road. Instead, they're going to pay it now. That's just not so. Anyway,
Billy is a great, brilliant lawyer.
Or lucky. Ted, Katie, thank you both.